panel members and other members of the GAF. I would like to thank everyone and good afternoon to everyone once again. And the topic assigned to me is Ayurvedic approach and evidence-based practices of degenerative neurological conditions. When we go for the degenerative neurological conditions, it's a broad term. It's like umbrella term for many of the diseases. It includes different diseases like many times it is uncurable or incurable. What we can say includes Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Huntington's, and motor neuron disease. And the
Jonah, not audible. Jonah, you correct your system, not audible.
It's like many diseases are there. It's a variety of conditions which affects the nerve cells as well as affecting the tissues, organs. Further, it deteriorates over time and makes the person very crippled because of the lifestyle choices and eating habits. Yeah, these are the common disorders what we can see where the brain matter is getting involved. Like in Alzheimer's disease, it's hippocampus and cortex, whereas in Parkinson's disease, it's substantia nigra and cortex, and Huntington's. Okay, I'm not going for details into that one. And here, the Alzheimer's disease is dominantly involved with dementia. It's a variety of neurodegenerative type and usually starts very milder, but progressively worsening the condition where the person is not at all having any judgment and difficulty in speaking. Otherwise, the emotions are much more higher. And the next one is Parkinson's, where the tremors are commonly seen and associated with rigidity and echinacea. And Huntington's, it's a defective gene is making a person to get this disease and affects the movement, mood, and the thinking skills. And the motor neuron disease, it's a progressive disorder, but cause is unknown. And it's a degeneration of motor neurons of different areas like spinal cord, cranial nerves, or otherwise pyramidal neurons of motor cortex. And the diseases of different variants, where it is hemiplegic lateral sclerosis, primary lateral sclerosis, or progressive muscular atrophy, or the different other conditions. So when we are going this one, usually the symptomatology will be weakness of the muscles, cramps, ataxia, wasting of the muscles with fasciculations, and where the person cannot hold the objects, speaking is very difficult, and even eating is also a problematic thing, where the muscles are become spastic and the reflexes are exaggerated. And another condition is multiple sclerosis. Already, Dr. Prasad sir already touched that one, where it is losing its connectivity, so that the muscles particularly will be getting spastic and the spasms and tremors. And even all these conditions will be having such a presentation where either dementia or the movement will be commonly involved. And majority of the times, the movement and as well as the involved higher mental functions are making a person to become so miserable life. And here we are having a few conditions where hypokinetic, hyperkinetic, ataxic conditions, where the motor neuron diseases are commonly seen along with the dementia or without dementia. And when we see this, these lakshanas, as the professor rightly mentioned, where it is a software. Here also we are having a software like the Gati Gandhanayo. Vata is responsible for Gati, the movement, and Gandhana is all the sensations. And when this Vata is getting aggravated, that is explained as yes, Dhatu Kshayat Vayu Sangna Karma Chanashayat. Whenever the Vata gets aggravated, it causes the loss of both these faculties, like sensory and as well as motor function. Sangna and karma will be lost. And how this is being happens because of the information what we are getting from Charaka Samhita while explaining the importance of Vata dosha. It is told that Pravartaka Cheshta Ucha Avachanam, all varieties of major and minor functions or minor movements of the body is under the control of the Vata dosha. Niyanta Praneta Chamanasa, Manas is having a control by the Vata dosha only, because Chintyam, Vicharyam, Uhyam, Dhyayam, Sankalpam, these are the functions which are attributed to the Manas, and here Smriti is also one of the major part of the Manasika Artha. And in addition to that, Sarva Indriyanam Udyojakaha Sarva Indriyardhanam Agoda, all the Indriyas, including Karma Indriya, Jnanendriya, and Ubhayendriya, Manas also is having these functions. Very specifically, it is explained about Pravartako Vajaha. Speech disorders will be commonly because of the Vata and its deterioration. Otherwise, what we can say, the Dushti Vata, Prakrita Vata will be causing that one. And Srotra Sparshani or Moolam, many times it is a vision. Otherwise, what do you say, the hearing capacity will also be lost. Harsha Utsaha Yoni, loss of enthusiasm, loss of interest to do the things, where the person is emotionally disturbed. All these things can be seen. Once again, the because of the Vata dosha. And Aisho Anvritti Pratyabhuto Bhavati Akupitaha, when Vata dosha is not having these sort of vitiation, otherwise Prakupita Avastha or Dushti will be for making all these functions to carry on very regularly and in proper way. And how this Vata getting aggravated is being discussed as Dhatu Kshayakarai Vayu Kupyati Atinishayavite. Dhatu Kshayakara, Ahara, Vihara, Achara, whatever you do, we are taking much more stress and strain, physical activities, and all this will be causing Dhatu Kshaya. And one more condition is Vayor Dhatu Kshaya, vice versa. Dhatu Kshaya will cause Vata Prakopa, Vata Prakopa will cause Dhatu Kshaya. And of course, here the information is Vayor Dhatu Kshaya, Kopo Margasya Avraneva. Marga Avrana and Dhatu Kshaya or Vata Prakopa Karanas, and whenever Vata Prakopa causes, Marga Avrana, otherwise Dhatu Kshaya will also be caused. And how this Dhatu Kshaya, what are the Dhatus? When we are discussing about the Dhatus, usually we will be coming into the context of Dhatu and Upadhatu. Because Sushruta says Dhatu means it is Rasadayaha, Upadhatavaha, both are being explained. Rasarakta Mamsa Medasti Majja Shukra are the Dhatus, and as well as Stanya, Rasa Stanyam Tato Raktamashuji Kandrasira Mamsa Vasa Tvachishitchaha. Likewise, the Upadhatus are being explained. Here, the Dhatu, all the Dhatus are not as such involved in these cases, and I'm dominantly going to speak about the Upadhatus. Here, the Upadhatu or the Dhatu will be getting Kshaya because of these reasons, like already Prasad sir mentioned, how the doshas are getting, particularly Vata dosha is getting aggravated because of the different varieties of Ahar, Vihar, Achara, Karana. So here it is where we are having a simplified information regarding this. Vyayamo, Anasanam, Chinta, Ruksha, Alpa Pramitasanam, Vata, Atapa, Bhayashoko, Ruksha, Panam, Prajagaraha, and even excessive usage of Shodhana karmas will also getting the Vata dosha to get aggravated, and at the same time the seasonal and diurnal variations Kalo, Bhutopagadasya, that which is getting into the visibly not seen to the naked eye will also be causing this sort of Dhatu Kshaya. So these are all the different Dhatu Kshaya Karanas, and here we are having the Upadhatu and Vatyavadi. What are the different diseases which are caused because of the involvement of the Upadhatu? When we see the Akshepaka, Dhamani and Snayu is explained, where Yadhatu Dhamani Sarva Kupito Bhyati Marudaha, Tada Akshepati Ashu Muhurdeham Muhishara, where the Akshepaka is one such a condition, involuntary movements are commonly seen because the involved Dhamanis, that is Chaturvimshati Dhamanis are getting involved. And Kampavata because of the Snayu. Yeah, whenever the Snayu is involved, Stamba, Kampa, Shula, Akshepana, varieties of symptomatology are getting manifested. And Vishwachi is one more condition. Many times we see it in only the upper limb where we say it as a Talam Pratyanguli Nantu Kandara, Bahu Prishtata. Here Kandara is explained once again, the Srishtata Nidana says it as, and whereas the Dalhana comments and say it as it's nothing but Mahasnayu. And one more similar disease like Gridrasi, where it is Parshni Pratyanguli Nantu Kandara. Yeah, Anil Ardita. There also Kandara is being explained. And one more condition which is occurring in the upper limb, particularly the pectoral girdle, it is Apabahuka. Amsa Bandhana is getting involved, once again the Sirasa. And where it is explained as Amshadesa Stito Vayu, Soshitva Amsa Bandhanam, Sirasha Punchatatrasto Janete Apavahum. Here it is Amsa Sandhi or Amsa Bandhana is involved as well as Sira is also involved. And one more condition which is occurring over the face is Ardhita Vata, Sira, Nasa, Oshta, Chibukala, Lata, Ekshana, Sandigaha are involved, so that Ardhayati, Anilo Vaktram, Ardhatam Janeta, where the face or half of the face is getting completely deformed and it's disturbed of functions. And the last one is Pakshaghata, where the Pakshaghata is a common neurological disorder, but routinely coming to in our practice, where it is Grihitva Ardham Sharirasya, Siras, Nayu Vishoshicha, Siras, Nayus are getting involved, so that the person will be getting Akarmanyam Achetana. And here it is, Sirasna is not only then, and at the same time it is Asti Sandhi, Vimokshana will also is there. And here we are having, when the Snayus are involved, otherwise Upadhatus are involved, otherwise Upadhatu, Snayu are having an intimate relation. And apart from that, according to Charaka, the Snayu are given with Dhamani, Snayu, Asti Sandhi Bandhanam, like that synonyms are there. So whenever the Snayu is involved with Vata dosha, then it will be causing Stambha, Kampa, Shula, Akshepam. These are the things what we saw in the other neurodegenerative disorders. And same thing is explained in another information by Charaka as Bahya Abhyantarayama, Khalli, Kubjatvamevacha. Here also we are getting the loss of function. So totally the movement is getting disturbed, and otherwise the major disease like Sarvanga Roga and Ekanga Roga involves the manas also. There the person will be getting altered sensations as well as the loss of memory. So here the treatment explained for this Snayu, Santhi, Siragatavata Chikitsa is Sneha Upanaha Agni Karma Bandhana Unmardana, and these are all to be done whenever it is required as and well. Then Professor already mentioned what are the things which are to be done as a list. Here we are having the Pakshaghata and its Lakshanas, where two varieties of Lakshanas are there and two varieties of manifestations are there. As everybody knows, it is in allopathy science or contemporary, we are having the embolism, thrombus, and hemorrhage are the commonest causes, and the manifestation is different according to the involvement of the neuron, upper motor neuron, lower motor neuron. And a similar manifestation we can see in Ayurveda according to Charaka's school of thought. And second one is Sushruta school of thought, where it is Charaka's version is a bit stable, and where it is the treatment is a bit different from Sushruta's version, where Sushruta's version says as Hantipaksham Tamahurhi Pakshaghatam Vishagvaraha Yasya Krishnam Sarirartham Akarmanyam Achetanam. Akarmanya Chetana is common for every Acharya, whether it is Sushruta, Charaka, or Vagbhata. But Sushruta's additional information is Tataha Patati Asun Va Api Jahati Anilapidita, where on the spot the person will be losing its consciousness or may get death on the spot itself. So this is the another added information what we are getting from Sushruta, and which is nearest comparison that of the hemorrhagic variety of the condition. Here we are having one such a practice of this particular management of hemorrhagic variety of the disease. And before that, what are the other varieties of classifications of Pakshaghata, where it is Daha Santapa Mocha Shihu Vayu Pitta Samanvite, where whenever the Pitta is involved, these are the symptoms, otherwise the person will be unconscious. And at the same time, if it is Kafanvitam, Shaitya Shrota Gurutvani Tasmineva Kafavrate. So Kappa Pitta Avarana, otherwise Kappa Pitta Anubandhatvam will make Pakshaghata once again as a different classes and different variants. And while making the Sadhya Sadhyata, it is explained by Sushruta by saying it as a Shuddhavata Hatam Paksham, Krichra Sadhyatamam. There it is Shuddhavata, if it is caused due to Kevala Vatajanya, it is Krichra Sadhyatam, not easy to cure. But whereas Sadhyam Anyena Samsrishtam. So Pitta Kapha Anubandhatvam is there, there it is Sadhyam. And the third set is Kshaya Hetuka Pakshaghata. So here we are having different varieties of classifications of Pakshaghata. One is Shuddhavatahatam, Kevala Vatajanyam. Second one is Pittanvita or Kapanvita. And the third one is Kshaya Hetuka or Dhatu Kshayajanya. So when these conditions are there, the treatment is also varying. So when we are making Pakshaghata Chikitsa, it's not like Snehana, Svedana and Virechana, but it is having a lot of variations in its manifestations. So here we are having the Chikitsa according to different authors, where Charaka and Vagbhata is having similar opinion, that is Snehanam Snehasamyuktam Pakshaghata Virechanam, Svedanam Snehasamyuktam Pakshaghata Virechana, nothing but Snehana, otherwise complete Snigdhata to the body is to be given, and then Svedana to bring back the doshas to Koshta, so that the Virechana can eliminate out these doshas from Koshta. And whereas Sushruta's opinion is different, there it is Yadhakalam Akshepaka Vidhanena Upachareta, where the person is in Akshepana Avastha, otherwise loss of consciousness, tremors, otherwise involuntary movements will be there. In such cases, the treatment is not like Snehana, Svedana and Virechana, but it is a bit different from the routine practice. There we are having one such a variety of a practice in South Canara, where the person, even though who is suffering with a loss of consciousness, the patient is completely have lost his movements and unconsciousness state, then the Parisheka, that is Shitala Parisheka or Alepa, has to be given in the Pitta Shamaka, where whenever the Pitta is associated, this is the practice. Shitala Parisheka with the Dhanyaka Amlaki Hima Parisheka Parsiras, Siro Parisheka, Siro Dhara. That too, when the patient is unconscious also, this is being done, and the body is to be given with the Shatadhata Grata Lepa, Shitala Alepa. And when this patient is having this sort of treatment, then it is patient once again to be given with Sirashuddhyardam and to make Sangnastapana Tikshanasya, that to Shunti, Yashti and Kshira. This is the combination where Nasya is being given. And there the person is given with Achasarpipana. This is the Apatanaka Chikitsa explained by the Sushruta. And where it is because of the Snehapana, usually we know that the patient has to take it orally. But as the patient is unconscious, without having that aspiration, with all the precautions, one has to give this one. Don't forget that the patient is unconscious state. And here Vidaryadgrita is commonly being given the two Prabhuta Matra. It is Uttama Matra only is being practiced. And then, yeah, this is the treatment treatment principle what we are having, and it is literally this is being followed, and there the person is getting that one. Avapedanena Tikshnena Upakramet Sarashuddhyardam. And later it is Sarpihi Acham Payet, Snehapana is being given. And then the patient is coming to the conscious state. Usually it takes 3 to 7 days of Sitala Parishek and Alepa. Then the patient comes to the conscious state. Then we can go for the second variety of Chikisa, that is Kapan with Pakshagata Chikisa. Here Kapara Chikisa, that is Ruksha Chikisa and Agni Chikisa. Agni Chikisa is a folklore practice in South Canara, particularly in Udupi and Mangalore, where a different varieties of dry drugs and wet drugs are being made into a paste that is being applied over the body, and then even for oral intake also. Then this Nehana Svedana and Shodhana is being practiced. And here I am having that list of drugs which are being made into a paste. That too, Agnimantha, Vanatulasi, Nirgundi, Papata, Bantha. These are the leaves are being taken of these particular plants and added with Lashna, Lavanga, Maricha, Sarshapa and Haridra, where one part of each one of these dry drugs, Lashna, Lavanga, Maricha, Sarshapa, Haridra, added to double to the dose, the quantity of these with these wet drugs like the leaves of Agnimantha, Vanatulasi, Nirgundi, Papata, Bantha, and made into a paste. And this is to be applied over the body surface. That too, Kapashavanardham, other is Rukshana Chikisa. So that is the common line of treatment what we are doing. That is usually followed for 7 days, and later the patient is given with Snehana, Sarvanga Abhyanga, and Svedana, and Virechana is being given. So whenever it is a stable condition like Kapanvita or Kapavanubandha conditions, Rukshana is always being followed. That's what we say that Niyati Niramate Same, Langhana Deepana Pachane, Ruksha Alepa Sekadye, Kuryat Kevala Vatana. There it is. First of all, the total Kapanubandhatam, there is Amavastha, is to be completely removed, and then we can go for the Snehana. That's what even Charak also accepts. Like Kevalam Nirupastambha Madhav Sneha Pacharat. Without having any Anubandhatam, there is Avarana, then only one has to complete the condition into Vata and then start with the Snehana. Before that, if at all it is Anubandham, Aravarana, that is to be attended first to make it into Niramavastha or Nirupastambhita Avastha. And then the Shodhana Chikisa is very routine. And one more thing I just want to add to that Pakshagata Chikisa is Tilapinda Sveda and Shalipinda Sveda, two varieties of Pinda Svedars are tried, and that is a study for post-radiation thesis, and it was found that Tilapinda Sveda is better in Kapanubandham and Shalipinda Sveda is better, the best in Pitta Anubandham, otherwise Kevala Vatajanya. And the next condition what I'm going to deal with is Ardhita. Here it is the treatment aspect. As no, I'm not going for the theoretical aspect because Ardhyati Vakram Ardhitam Janayatha is being explained, where the half of the face is having that Vakri Karot Vakratam Griva Shapa Vaksanga, and at the same time Smriti is also Hani Shavadu Nigrisha will also be there. So here the treatment is Navanasya Murtela, there is a Ardhite Navanum Murtelum Tarpanam. This is a simple line of treatment, but in my practice I used to go for the second half, that is Kshira Dhuma Antanasya, where the patient is given with Abhyanga, and at the same time the Dhuma, Kshira Dhuma. Otherwise, in Trivandrum we had that practice of Palpuga, where the Balamula Kashaya added the equal amount of Kshira and made into Nadi Sveda, and when the patient is literally draped with a bed sheet and then widely opening his mouth and taking the inhalation of the steam, that is the Kshira Dhuma. And then Nasya is usually the Karpa Sasya Taila is very specific routine variety of Taila, otherwise Kshirabala can also be used. And one more practice what I saw in Hyderabad is Kukuta and Pinda Sveda, where this is Yagyok is added with Saindaramna and Haridra Churna and a few of lime pieces. So this is just to see the Paka and made it a small potally after Abhyanga over the face. The Kukuta and Pinda Sveda is used for the Svedana purpose. This is the common practice what I saw in Ardhitavata. Here one such a variety of condition where Kshiradhuma is given and the patient is before and after, where the patient is not able to open his eyes and not able to make a frowning or crowning, the forehead is not getting wrinkled, and where the deviation of the mouth is also getting come to the normalcy. This is the study what my colleague Dr. Huddar made when he was in KLE Belgaum. And the other variety of the condition what I am saying is cerebellar ataxia, where the movements are not under control, where it is first night gait will be commonly seen. Here the patient is given with a Sirovasti, Siro Abhyanga, Bhashpa Sveda, and then the other variety of treatments like Maharasnadi, Dhanvantaram, Ashwagandha. This is one of my student from Udupi tried, and this is the published article in the Neurology of India, where the treatment is a patient who is having the loss of movements, otherwise the atipravritti, otherwise excessive movements of the tremors are also can be treated, where along with Sirovasti and Sironasya, Sirovasti and Sirodhara. Dhara is explained, it is given for female and Sirovasti for male, because the cosmetological purpose, the people don't want to have the tonsilling of their head, so that Sirodhara is planned, and the treatment is Maharasnadipata, Dhanvantaram, 101 capsule, and Ashwagandha Churna, that to 500 milligrams. So it is in the form of a tablet, it was given, and it is giving better results, and it is safe also. And one more condition, what is Parkinson's disease? Here a collection of information from the different articles, because as a routine practice we are using this, whether it is Mukna Bruins, otherwise Kapikachu Churna, or otherwise Sandopa powder, it's a patent one, but still there is no as such evidence, so that here we are getting an evidence that Vithanasomilpara Ashwagandha along with the Kapikachu is giving such a synergistic action in the giving better results in Parkinson's disease. And the other one is it is a experimental study on the rodents. It was given the disease induced in the rodents, and then they tried this with this herbal extracts of Kapikachu, Brahmi, Ashwagandha, Mandukaparani, Bala, and Jyotishmati. Once again, these are all the routine varieties of drugs used for the Rasayana purpose in a routine practice. There also, it is giving the maximum protection to the phenylpyridinium iodide induced dopaminergic neurodegeneration in BZ355 strain. This is the rodents what we get, and it is inhibited the aggregation of heterogeneously expressed human alpha synuclein. So that's the synuclein is a common factor in the Parkinson's disease. And in Alzheimer's, even though it is a incurable condition and the patients are not as such a routine visitors to the OPD, but still a study is here with Ashwagandha, Haridra, Brahmi, Guduchi, Sankapushpi, Jyotishmati, Gugulu, Satapadrika, and Ashtamadu. Once again, the routine varieties of drugs which are routinely used as in the form of Churna, otherwise in the form of Kshirapaka, otherwise Sattva or Kashaya. But still, all these are having, and all are having the antioxidant properties, as well as it is increasing the memory, and particularly it is very specifically indicated because of their actions in Alzheimer's dementia. So finally, I just want to go for the treatment of the neurodegenerative disease is with the Shaman Aushadhi, and that too with Antaparimarjana and Bahirparimarjana, making the changes in the Ahara Vihara, otherwise other additive treatments like physiotherapy, speech therapy, or wherever it is required, Shodhana Chikitsa in the form of either Nasya or Virechana or Vasti can be used. Rasayana drugs are having a vital role in the treatment of this neurodegenerative disease, and yoga, dhyana, that is once again is having a lot of impact in the treatment of the disease. And neurorehabilitation is one more word commonly nowadays being used for these patients who are suffering with neurodegenerative disorders. And finally, to conclude, Sa eva kupita dosha samuthana visheshataha sthanantarani cha prapya vikaran kurute bahun. Because of these kupita doshas, according to sthana and according to the samuthana karana, will be leading to many varieties of these diseases. Tasmad vikara prakriti adhishtanantarani cha, prakriti of the disease, adhishtanam antaram, wherever it is, where exactly the adhishtana is there, buddhva hetu visheshacha sighram kuryadupograma. According to the hetu lakshana, one has to plan the treatment so that we can make a successful practice. And I would like to thank the organizers of GAFO and all the senior colleagues, as well as Dr. Srinivasa Prasad sir and Shrikant Babu sir, Jitesh, and the other faculty members, including Girish KJ and Dr. JN, who involved me in this particular platform. And I wholeheartedly thank every person who is directly or indirectly involved in this GAFO. And thank you once again.